For shame! All of you, down on your knees!
No, my son, I will no longer kneel to you. I have been silent long enough, and have listened long enough to your slanders and lies, the language you habitually use to bully and intimidate. For shame! You accuse us without cause. Those who are initiated are bound by this promise of their faith, which they affirm before the God in these words: I swear to give up my life for the salvation of my brothers and sisters, who constitute the whole of mankind, and, if called upon, to die in the defense of truth.
We are not brothers, but competitors. Law, power, wealth, only these are strength.
There is no law or power or wealth which will endure. There is only truth.
Truth? What is truth? A word as light as the feather of a duck.
Oh, you are cruel and harsh. And oh, I ask how. How is it possible I gave you birth? You who are young and strong, but not like a young man, feeling no need of a lover, denying nature. You make a bed of your own intolerance and anger.
Did you not rear me to be as I am? I do as a ruler should. I bind with tough and biting penalties he who is lazy, he who is weak, he who in his heart nurses evil intent.
Yes, and these laws have filled up your prisons, and sent many, incontinent with fear, to the axe or the gallows. If you had seen what I have seen, faces ringed by exhaustion or pain, the burnt-out slave, his life a futile, shaken fist, the ruined girl, pregnant, abandoned, unmarriageable, kneeling under the stars, her eyes solemn with longing, drawn by the moon's magnetism upward to the mysteries. I am guilty too. I was young. I was wealthy. I had no feeling of this. I was the daughter of a king. I despised those whose hands were dirty. I was proud of birth and beauty. I spoke as you speak today, arrogantly, but I was wrong.
Mother, I forbid you ever to approach me again. The city must be protected, the law upheld. As for these women who follow the new god, the superstition of wine and blood, this is my final word. Arrest them! By their assembly here, they have forfeited their freedom. Let the prisons be made ready to receive them.
You speak without understanding, embracing your own ruin.
You were weak once, and then you loved me. Now, grown strong, you repudiate me, not knowing the bitter struggle of your nativity, nor caring what need I felt between mind and womb, to love you and conceive you, and bear you and bring you into the light. But I see that my agony meant nothing to you. This is true. In the mountains, the god releases us. The wildness of the place, the emptiness of it, sets free our sacred frenzy without doing harm. No man or woman whose nature is evil can serve the god or come at his call. They slander us who talk of violence and excess. The world is a prison house. All my life I've longed to be free of it. But free of what I did not know or guess, until this moment. My place is not here, Pentheus, in your palace, but high in the hills, upon the long, tall grass. You are my son, but you have disowned me. Be no longer anything to do with me.
Well? Sir, Dionysus is here. We have apprehended him.
The god was not difficult to find. High in the hills, evidence of his activities is everywhere. The trees are draped with garlands. The fires which decorate the night are not put out. The embers still smoke. The smell of freshly cooked meat hangs in the air. Some of the women, I am certain, had eaten the raw narcotic mushroom. They formed a circle around us, their painted faces staring at us, their eyes full of animal insolence. Or they were singing some chant or song to power of sun or influence of moon, clapping their hands, tossing back their heads to shout in violent rhythm to the god. Sir, I looked as closely as I dared to see what kind of people these were. Sir, of what you have suspected, debauchery, drunkenness, licentious perversion, there was no mark or trace. But then, oh, sir, a voice spoke out of nowhere, out of the air. Stroke the rock, and like an udder it will give you milk. Touch the tree, and lo, it will bring forth miraculous honey. As he had said it would be, so it became. Autonoe, your mother's sister, bent her face to the rock and began to lick it like a cat. I saw her mouth, bright with milk. I saw it. Another woman struck the trunk of a cedar with the pine-tipped thyrsos, the staff of power. At once the tree dripped gold with honey. It bled into their hands, which they had cupped to receive it. I thought, this is a dream. Wake up, I thought. Wake up. But I could not wake. It was real. It was really happening. Sir, I beg you to believe me, truly. This God, this new God in all his beauty, he is God's own son.
This is the high season of the summer. Everywhere there is the deep heat. For 15 days the skies have been bare of cloud. No rain has fallen. Even the cicada under the dry stone is parched and longs for water. Yet, wherever the song of Dionysus is heard, in the woods, the fields and the valleys, the earth teems with promiscuous life. There is a wetness in the picked grape, moisture, and a smell both warm and cool, oozing from root and the branches that bear fruit.
No words from you, Tiresias. Your mouth is full of the toxic smell of vegetable gas. What will you do next? Thrust your bony fingers up some slaughtered chicken's arse, then solemnly inform us that the day of doom is close.
It were better for you, you glib and immature boy, to forfeit your sight like me. Then you will never see what will be done ritually to cleanse you of your blasphemy. A day is coming, fool, it is almost upon you, when the god whom you say does not exist, Dionysus, the virgin-born, God's own son, will walk bareheaded into Thebes and claim it as his own. If you do not, that day, that hour, receive him and worship him at the temple and at every holy shrine, then he or those who follow and love him will rip your profane body limb from limb. Nothing will remain of you, or what your mother loved, except your severed head. Be warned, you child posturing as a man, pretending to an authority no mortal king can possess. I do not bluff. Deny the god, ignore prophetic word. Soon you will be whimpering that I saw everything clear and plain enough.
That is more like it. Finally you sound like a prophet. A prophet about to suffer a terrible death for his belief.
Look, he is here.
Footfall at evening brings him out of ambiguous shadows.
At last he is here among us, his long hair dusted with poppy flowers.
He blows upon the rust colour of the dry earth, his seed awakening breath.
Worship him. Oh,
Dionysus.
I was beautiful. I was God's own son. I threatened long-held power, and so they tore me and destroyed me. But my heart could not be buried in the sullen earth of winter, and the darkness of the tomb could not contain it. Therefore I arose from the wreckage of my persecution like the undefeated dawn, like the violence of the sun.
Who are you?
I am the incarnate Son of God, the Lord Dionysus. Behold. Although I come to Thebes in human form, appearing to mortal eyes as a mortal man, yet do not mistake me. My nature is not gentle. It is like fire, or a flaming sword.
No. You are a mortal man, and your body is susceptible to pain. Hold him.
Hypocrite. You sit in judgment over me according to the law, and then in defiance of the law you strike me.
I am king. It is my prerogative to strike you or to kill you or to set you free.
I come to warn you, Pentheus, do not make war upon a god. It is stupid and perverse.
Is it not perverse for a god to consort with criminals and drink wine to excess?